look at these two little beauties right here. You know what these are? We're going to find out what they are. Are you ready to run a gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. You know, I was on YouTube the other day, I was looking around. I could find nothing on the reel I'm going to show you today. It's a couple of the reels part of my collection. They're kind of a historical piece as far as what happened to the company versus what later happened with the company. And of course, you guys know I'm a Daiwa dude. But I respect other companies too. I mean, if I had to choose a second favorite, it would be old Abu Garcia's. But I have tried to look up videos on the Daiwa Millionaire V. Now, pretty sure that's not 5 because it's not a Roman numeral. So that'd be the Daiwa Millionaire V. This particular one I have here is a dark green color. And this is a black color. And cosmetically, they're just a little bit different on the palm plate. You can see that. Size-wise, these are 5500. Or if you're familiar with Abu Garcia 5000s, that's pretty much what this is. Now, speaking of the 5000, I read somewhere a while back, I tried to look it up, I couldn't find it again, maybe it's gone, I don't know. But apparently, Daiwa got sued by Ambassador. And this was like in the early 70s. And it was over that reel right there, the green one. Because it was identical to their red 5000. Well, I've worked on both these reels, the Abus and these. They're identical. The funny part of the story is they apparently had gone to an international court, and they had a reel repairman who was unbiased. He wasn't with anybody. They took this reel and the 5000, put them in parts across the table, mixed them all up, and told the guy to put them together. So you had a mixed match of Abu parts with Daiwa parts in both reels, and they both worked. So Daiwa had to sell out of court. That's what I remember reading. So that pretty much discontinued this one, and then they came out with the black one. But now the difference is between this one and the Ambassador is ball bearings. This has got 2 ball bearings, one on each side of the spool. So does this one. But this one here, if you listen to it, in the spool, this reel right here gets you in trouble. I've had it in the backyard, threw it a little bit. This sucker right here gets you in trouble. I just got this thing about a month ago. In that kind of condition too. Got it for a good price. And this is my 3rd black V, which just a little bit of grinding. It's just the gears. But it's still loosey-goosey and casts very well. The other 2 that I have, they kind of grind really bad. I think that's just people never ever oiling a reel, and it just wore out. You can't do that, guys. You got to keep these things lubed. Speaking of that, I have a 3R right here I just recently got. This is my 3rd one. My third R. But it's not bad. It needs a little help. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do a video on how I tear these apart and how I degrease them and the oils that I use to put back on certain parts. Because to me, there is no 1 or 2 oils. You can get away with that, but it's not going to give you the best performance. And I'm also going to show you the little trick I use on these little side pieces. You know, a lot of guys don't like this on these kind of reels, because as you're casting them, you know, A lot of guys will cast like that anyway, or they cast right-handed, but as they're holding the reel, they tend to turn this knob. I have a modification that stops this. You can still adjust it, but it doesn't move on its own. And all it is just Teflon plumber's tape and little white rolls. Whoever would have thought of that? But I'll show you that trick when I go to do this reel. This is going to be a little while on this one until I can get around to where I can film it. But I am looking forward to actually doing a disassembly for you so you can see exactly how I do things. This will not get ball bearings because there is nowhere on here to put ball bearings that I can remember. I'm pretty sure you can't. So anyway, I just wanted to show these reels to you. These are really good reels. They're 3.8 to 1s. That's a 3.8 to 1 to 3 arias. But this came out after these. I can't remember when they stopped making these. I really don't. I don't know, 76, maybe 77 when they quit making the black ones. I could be wrong. There's really no. You can ask Daiwa. When you go back this far, it's really hard for them to really pinpoint exactly when they did. And just about every company's like that. So, as far as what would you use these for? Well, shoot, back in the day, 3.8 to 1 was deep cranking. You can deep crank with these things. I'll throw anything on them. I don't care. 3.8 to 1 does not bother me because I'm kind of a relaxed. Well, you've seen my videos. I'm kind of a relaxed fisherman anyway. So I really don't get into, burning gun, like run and gun and burn it and turn it and all that kind of stuff. That's just not me. So I actually kind of enjoy these things. But when I get back out on the water, the very first trip I make, I want to take these. I want to take these 2 reels and see how my hand does with them. You guys know, sometimes after a while, my hand hurts. So I do want to try these. And not on a pistol grip, though. I'm going to try these on... I have some Daiwa Tatulas. Some of the little bit older ones. These are about 3 or 4 years old. That aren't made anymore. But I know it's a long handle, but it gives me, the leverage to be able to throw these kind of bigger reels. I've also got the cranking rod I showed y'all that I built that has a little bit shorter back. It's a 6'3", very, very light. But that could also work on that as well. Pretty good. To where I can have, just a little bit of length here, but if I still wanted to throw a kind of soft plastic, this is not overpowering. I can still kind of get it where I want it. The reason I don't want to do a pistol grip is the fact that, I've only got so much back here that I can cast with, and it's just more comfortable with me with my PS10s. So, nothing against these. I mean, even a 4600 would be alright. In case you can't hear it, that's Sammy in the background. He had to be in here with Daddy. So, again, guys, I just wanted to show these because there's no videos on these, and these are really good reels, built like a Mack truck. There's not many moving parts at all. And the best thing about these kind of deals, they're very simple. And when you've worked on enough of these like I have, if something does go wrong, you know what it is. You know what the problem is. And this has happened to me one time. And I was on the river on a kayak, and I was pushing the button in the cast, and all of a sudden it quit staying in. Well, I knew it was a spring issue. Popped it loose right there in the kayak, fixed, put the spring back on the clip where it's supposed to be, kind of bent it a little bit, modified it. The reel's been working great ever since. This reel, the green one, on eBay, the person told me the button would push in, and it wouldn't. When you cranked it, it wouldn't come out. I knew exactly what it was. It was caked up oil, where it had never been lubed. I got this thing in. Sure enough, it was like peanut butter on that thing. Like once I cleaned it off, it was done. As far as using braid, I wouldn't use braids on reels like these, old Abbott Garcias, things like that, because you have a little bit bigger distance between the spool and the frame, and you can get line behind that and get twisted around your spindle or your axis, whichever one, or your axle, whichever you want to call it. So I don't like doing that. Pound test, 10 would be the lightest I'd throw on these things. I mean, that's pushing it. because you really don't want that to get behind there. You know, it'll even happen on these. So you don't want that. Keep your line maybe 12 pounds and up. Fluorocarbon's fine, but braid, if you insist on throwing braid on this thing, make it like 65 or 80 pound braid. Just to make sure that sucker does not go back behind this. Because when it goes back behind there, now you're having to loosen the reel, pop everything off, pull that line out, put the spool back in, now you got to cut your line off. And it could have happened on a long cast, and all of a sudden your reel just stops and you look down and it's caught behind the spindle. Don't want that. Not that it's ever happened to me, I'm just saying, whoops. Before I forget, I also do want to mention the only modification I do to these reels, as long as the bearings are still good, I'll keep the bearings that come with it. Otherwise, I'll replace the bearings. Other than that, gator grip. Some old style gator grips with the smooth handles. These are the ones I like. They're a little shorter, a little closer together like the older reels. I like these better. So that's the only modification I've done to these things. Other than that, they're stock. That's all I got, guys. Just wanted to show these to you. They're part of my collection I love. And just thought you might get a kick out of these things because they work great. I'll put these against any new reel. And I'm serious. These things are that smooth. They cast like a bullet. No magnets either. It's up to this. So anyway, until next time, guys, may the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. And as always, fish on.